The Irish face another first-time opponent for the seventh time under head coach Marcus Freeman, and it comes to the nation's second winningest FBS program since 2000.
By Samarza, inside the 20, inside the 10, he's going in! Notre Dame has scored!
Go! You will be that driving force to motivate those coaches and those players to beat Southern Cal!
Notre Dame is relevant again.
The 20, the 10, 5-5 rocket touchdown!
Notre Dame is number one!
It's a game of who's going to flinch first. We know that it won't be Notre Dame.
Hello again, everybody. Landon Traylor, John Richards, Logan Traylor, and Dylan Kearns send their best here to the Golden Domers report. Notre Dame clashes with Boise State in the annual Irish Wear Green game. And JR, you can call them Little Boy Blue, you can call them Blue Mountain State, you can call them Smurf Field, whatever you want to call them. Historically, they shine in this spot.
They absolutely do. They thrive in moments like this, knocking off the blue blood. You saw it initially in the, I think, the Fiesta Bowl when they took down Stoops on the Statue of Liberty play. They're going to come in, play hard. This is their Super Bowl. They got off to a bad start. They can rewrite their entire season by coming to South Bend and knocking us off.
Absolutely. And this starts not only this is going to be a tough challenge to another one in our schedule, but JR, it starts what I think is the most important 3-game stretch remaining on our schedule. You could argue 4-game stretch back to at Arkansas, but Boise State, NC State, and USC.
Absolutely. Again, when we went back to last week in Arkansas, we considered them a quality opponent to kick off this stretch. We got 3 left, and this is another good team that we can't take lightly. I know the spread's 16, and we absolutely throttled Arkansas, which was good to see. But we got to keep that momentum going, and we got to continue to build because we have no room for error.
Absolutely not. And you got to think that NC State is probably eliminated by now. USC is still a team that could still win the Big Ten. NC State still has a crack at the ACC, but you got to think that with the elimination is coming for them. So it's still a very crucial game here in South Bend. It's an elimination game. If Boise State wants to be that group of 5 contender, group of 5 team to represent, or the college ball team that represents the group of 5 for the playoff, they're going to have to beat Notre Dame on their home turf to show that the nation they're legit.
Yeah, I give them a lot of credit for scheduling a game like this too, right in the middle of their season, kind of right in the beginning of their conference play. But programs like this, they rely on big games like this to fund their athletic department, and this is going to be a big opportunity for them, and they're hoping to come in and knock us off.
Absolutely. Get a little money for knocking us off, just like some other teams of the past. Well, let's get into it. Boise State is 3-1 on the year with a season-opening blowout loss to South Florida, 34-7 on the road in Tampa Bay, before soundly defeating Eastern Washington 51-14, and then snuck past Air Force on the road 49-37. Absolutely destroyed Appalachian State 47-14. JR, this team seems to struggle away from the Smurf field, though.
Yeah, most teams do struggle away from home, but they have a big advantage on that blue turf. They have a long trip ahead of them. They haven't really faced a tough opponent since South Florida, and South Florida turned out to be maybe a little better than everybody else thought. But definitely they're going to be decided underdogs. But they've I don't know if they've righted the ship because of who they've played since South Florida, but their coach is, I think he's like 15-3 since he's been at Boise. They're putting up a lot of points. They're extremely aggressive on defense. Our front 5 is going to have, their hands cut out for them to protect Carr. He's probably going to have to make some plays with his legs. Again, proud, aggressive, tough opponent here. I know I call them Little Boy Blue jokingly, but they are the first true kind of Cinderella in college football. And this is not one to sleep on.
You know, back in the day, JR, it was probably the ACC, Big Ten, SEC, Pac-12 that ruled the college football world. Boise State really put the group of five, before it was called the group of five, on the map just because of their dominance, quite frankly. We'll get into a little bit of that later, but their quarterback, he's a junior, Maddox Matson. Remember this name? 9 touchdowns with an interception and 1,129 yards. Fantastic quarterback. Love what I've seen from him this season. Ashton Genty's replacement, on the other hand, Dylan Riley, 48 carries for 360 yards and 5 touchdowns. It's really hard to replace a guy like Ashton Genty. He's filling in the role nicely, though.
Yeah, they're scheme oriented.
Yeah,
You
very.
plug and play there. Genty, he's kind of struggling a little bit in the NFL. He's gone, but the quarterback, I think he threw for like 3,000 yards and 20 touchdown passes last year.
Yes.
That this is a competent team that's coming in, and we got our hands full. And let's be honest, we're not a stone wall on defense this year either. So
Right, exactly. And another guy we're going to have to watch out for defensively is their number one wide receiver, Latrell Caples. He's got 15 receptions for 240 yards and 2 touchdowns this season. He is Matson's go-to target. Been phenomenal throughout the year so far in the 4 games. Listen, the Broncos averaged 39 points a game. Another good offense that we're about to face. We faced a good offense in Miami, a good offense in Texas A&M, although they looked like crap the other day, but a good offense supposedly in Arkansas. We dismantled them. Another tough offensive team that we got to play. They're 29 of 52 or 58 on third down, 299 pass yards per game, 221 rush yards per game, 520 total yards per game, 68 penalty yards per game, and they are +3 in the turnover ratio. So, JR, this team puts up a lot of yards, a lot of points, very competent on the offensive side of the ball, as you mentioned.
yeah, and we're thin on defense.
Oh,
We might be even thinner now. I've read some guys are questionable. Is Moore going to play? Sounds like Heinisch might be out. So we're young. Next man up. Take your lumps. Keep fighting. Trust your coaches. Trust the scheme. And try to limit big plays. I mean, you've seen what of it you mentioned. They've been in the 40s the last couple of games. Yeah, it's been some questionable opponents, but the other interesting thing is, I think I read that this is the first time they've played in the Eastern time zone in like 4 years.
Wow,
So,
that would make a lot of sense, yeah.
yeah, so it's not that big of a deal. It's not like we're playing a nooner and they're playing at 9 a.m.
Right.
But they've never been east of the Mississippi. So here they come in. Let's hope that plays into our favor a little bit. Maybe they're a little bit awestruck. I wouldn't expect a program like that to be, but hey, you come into Notre Dame for the first time, and there's a lot of pageantry involved. There's a lot of things to kind of open your eyes, and you kind of almost get mesmerized by the ghost and the aura and all that. So let's hope all that stuff plays in our favor, because we're going to need everything we can to slow them down.
Oh, no doubt about it. Now, here is where they struggle, like us, in my opinion. 25 points they're giving up per game, 174 passing yards they're giving up per game, 155 rush yards surrendered per game. Now, on the road, they have given up 228 passing yards per roadie and 192 rushing yards per roadie. And I mentioned they struggle on the road for this matter, because Air Force was a road game, and they absolutely dismantled Boise State's defense. Air Force put up 246 pass yards, 268 rush yards, and 37 points, JR.
Well, I guess the whole Eastern time zone thing doesn't make sense because they played at South Florida. So,
oh, crap, that's right. That's right.
But maybe that was the first time they played in the Eastern time zone. I watched that game.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say that they were in control early, but they had their opportunities
Mm-hmm.
and they kind of let South Florida hang around. They turned the ball over. They let that South Florida quarterback kind of get going, and it was
Mm-hmm.
downhill from there. Um, it's going to be interesting to see how we sort of attack them. Maybe our best defense is our offense again, kind of like last week.
Mm-hmm.
The good luck stopping us. I mean, we got
Right.
Love and Price, and
Car.
then you got
Yeah.
Carr, and
Right.
we're starting to show how dangerous we are offensively. So let's see how that plays out.
Right. A game that I want to focus on is the Air Force game. That I want to talk on a little bit. The first game, the first loss against South Florida. That was the first week. I believe it was on a Thursday night, I believe. On the road. It was hot. It was humid. I'm not making excuses for Boise State, but that game, I think, could be thrown out the door a little bit. The game I want to focus on is Air Force and talk about that because Air Force absolutely dismantled their defense. Boise State walked out with a 49-37 win, but if I'm Notre Dame, I'm turning on the tape to Air Force because Air Force did a lot of things right in that ball game to put themselves, quite frankly, in a position to beat Boise State at home. But unfortunately, Air Force fell apart towards the end of the game. But Air Force, if Air Force is dismantling your defense, quite frankly, you got a lot of issues.
Yeah, the Mountain West
Yeah,
fireworks show out there. And,
yeah,
the Air Force, they're kind of, they still running the triple wishbone out there. I mean, the old
exactly.
Service Academy ground and pound. I got no worries about, our offense and how we're going to be able to score and move the
Right,
ball. Is it going to be methodical? Is it going to be quick strike?
right.
Our concerns are primarily on
Other
the
side of the
defensive
ball.
side of the ball.
Yet
Yeah.
again, right. And I'm hoping that on Monday, when we're talking about this ball game, that we're talking about the best defensive performance yet. But we shall see. These
But
are two. Go ahead.
yeah, let's not forget that they were in the playoff last year too.
Right.
They played Penn State pretty hard, pretty
Hmm.
tough, kind of down the end. And this is, has the line moved at all from 16? I'm kind of shocked it's that high. Maybe there's a lot of respect for us.
Actually, yes, it's now 19 and a half.
Oh, well, that's maybe a good sign. But, not too long ago, they went undefeated in their conference. They won
Yes.
their conference championship. They beat UNLV, who was a fun story last year.
Hmm.
And then they almost, we could have been playing this team last year in the playoffs had they beat Penn State, and they almost did. So, proud, competent, well coached program coming in.
Yes, I love Boise State. Always have in my childhood. There always seemed to be that team that is always around that shouldn't be around, and it was Boise State for me. These are two similar-ish teams. I'd like to think that we are better on paper, but on paper we should be 4-0 right now. I mean, so you could throw all that on paper crap out. I know Logan would like to talk about on paper a lot. Offensively, and I think we're slightly better on defense. But we shall see. JR, keys to the game. Hit me with three, my friend.
I haven't really given much thought to this. But yeah, I will first say you can't give them life early. You can't turn the
Very
ball
true.
over early. You can't do something dumb. You got to cut their momentum and cut their legs out from under them right from the start. The other thing, I like last week's formula.
Yeah.
Kind of ball control. I mean, you're obviously not going to take a knee if you got a 70-yard touchdown run in front of you, but kind of death by submission and wear and tear and grind them out. And lastly, you know, I'm starting to get worried now that, Moore's been out, Heinisch is out. We've got two losses. I hope people aren't checking out and giving up and thinking selfishly for themselves down the road to try to position themselves up maybe for a better future for themselves. And it sort of feels that way. obviously don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but and I guess we're going to see the kids at some point, but let's keep this thing going because I've seen us getting a little bit better from the back end of that Purdue game to where we are now, and we still have a lot to play for. And I want to bury these guys and keep people aware and uneasy with Notre Dame lurking around. So let's not turn the ball over and keep them around. Let's keep the same momentum on offense and continue to build on defense. I know those are pretty general.
No, perfect. Sometimes Logan likes to say, keep it simple, stupid.
Simple.
Right. Now, listen, Donovan Heinisch is listed on the depth chart. If he is not a go, Jared Dawson would get the start there at defensive tackle in place of Donovan Heinisch. Leonard Moore, looking at him, he is listed on the depth chart, the first position at corner. So we shall see their status on Saturday afternoon. My keys to the game, not that anybody cares, but air it out. This team is horrible at defending the pass. This might be the worst pass defense we are going to face. However, they bring a lot of pressure to the quarterback. So that brings me to my second key. We got to protect Carr. I don't think we're going to see a team pressure us like Boise State. They get a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Got to protect Carr. And lastly, I'm going to flip it around and this has been a key to my games every single week. Pressure the damn quarterback. You saw what happened last week when we pressured David Green. He got rattled. He threw an interception. He got sacked. We took him mentally out of the game. Keep getting pressure on the quarterback. All right. Historically, Boise State has been so good in these spots, in these atmospheres. You look at the 2007 Fiesta Bowl against Oklahoma, the Statue of Liberty, the fake Statue of Liberty for the win, the 2010 Fiesta Bowl against TCU, 14-0. And then, of course, the game that really put them on the map, the 2001 game against number 8 Fresno State. That really propelled them into their elite status. So they've been a team that has been ranked in the top 5 so many times. So much history in the last 25 years between this team. They've been relevant for so many years, upset a lot of good teams, and a win here would not only, JR, add to that history, but it would get them right back in the mix in the conversation of things after knocking us out of the playoff and propelling them back into a spot that they can win or they could get into the college football playoff.
Absolutely, 100%. They've got a lot to play for. We do too. Early afternoon game. Both sides. They got a lot at stake still. That's why I'm worried about our depth.
Right.
People looking ahead or kind of checking out or pumping the brakes to make sure they're, maybe a little bit more healthy.
Right.
We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
We will see. This is the 7th time for a Marcus Freeman-led team that Notre Dame will take on a first-ever opponent. You look at his first one, Marshall in 2022, lost that one at home. UNLV in 2022, Tennessee State in 2023, Central Michigan in 2023, Northern Illinois last year, and, of course, Arkansas this year. Total record is 4-2 against first-time opponents under Marcus Freeman. Both losses coming at Notre Dame Stadium at the 3:30 slot. Just a little nugget there. All right, time now for Week 6 as we get into it. The standings heating up a little bit. I am still in last place with Dylan. We are now tied at 91-28. JR won the tiebreaker last week he was closest on the score, so that means he picked up another game. He is 96-23. Logan's in first place at 97-22. We'll start with my favorite segment, the Brian Koberger Prison Inmate Game of the Week. Who else but Clemson at North Carolina, 12 p.m. on ESPN.
Oh. That Koberger, not a bad game to watch this week, actually. That's give me Clemson.
Man, both of these teams are just flat out bad. I mean, they are playing some really bad football. Give me Clemson, though, to bounce back, I guess, if you want to call it that. Get their second win of the season. And now we move into the non-ranked slate. A little bit of a loaded slate here. We got, starting off, Washington at Maryland, 3:30 p.m. on the Big Ten Network. A few underrated matchups, if you will.
That's a really good game. Maryland went into Wisconsin and actually, just absolutely
Dismantled.
destroyed them.
Yeah.
Washington coming off flying all the way back across country after getting pounded by Zero State.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can find a line here.
Here, I got you. Let's see. What did I say? This was 3:30. It is Washington minus
Washington,
6.5.
you see 6.5. I see. Okay,
I'm on ESPN.
Yeah, 6.5. Yep, you're right. Give me Washington, but I wouldn't be surprised if Maryland won this game. They're 4-0.
Yeah, Maryland undefeated, 1-0 in the Big Ten as well. I'm gonna go with Maryland at home. I don't like that trip for Washington after a heartbreak. They got dismantled by Ohio State. At least their offense did. How do they respond? I don't think they do. Give me Maryland at home. Michigan State at Nebraska is another tricky one. 4 p.m. on FS1. Elimination game for both. Both teams are 3-1. 0-1 to the Big Ten as well.
And Nebraska, they
Fugazi.
they try their hardest to join the big boys, and they just cannot. They are
Can't do it.
Fugazi. They are not the same since the century turned.
No.
But I will take them to beat Sparty.
Yeah, I am. Nebraska is officially on my no bet list for the rest of my life. As long as I live, I will never bet Nebraska again. They ruined my parlay that I had. I placed my first ever parlay a couple weeks ago when they played Michigan, and they screwed me there. And then, not only did that, my first ever bet that I legally placed was Nebraska to beat Cincinnati. I took them to cover. They did not cover. So, no bet list for Matt Rule. Give me Nebraska, though, in this one to beat Michigan State. Man, Sparty. Talk about a team who's really fallen off the wagon at Sparty. Colorado at TCU, 7:30 on Fox.
TCU.
Yeah, prime time. Just not getting it done at Colorado. Give me TCU in this one to bounce back after losing last week to Arizona State. Kansas at UCF, 7:30 on ESPN2.
What's the line here? Kansas minus 5.5. Open at minus. Give me Kansas.
Ooh. I like UCF at home. Scott Frost, give me the Knights at home. Last non-ranked game of the week, we got Duke at Cal in a pivotal ACC matchup. Both teams unbeaten in ACC play. This is at 10:30 p.m. on ESPN. Duke is minus 2.5.
Duke, boy, they went to Syracuse last week, and they threw it on them. ACC after dark. Give me Cal.
Yeah, I like Cal in this one as well. The Bears at home, late start for them. West Virginia at number 23 BYU, Friday night, 10:30 p.m. on ESPN. BYU is minus 19.5. My God.
Yeah. Give me the Mormons. Bring them young.
Good Lord. Man, minus 19.5. Whew, give me BYU in this one. Kentucky. I feel bad for Kentucky. Let me preface that for what Georgia is about to do to them after losing after losing at home to Alabama last week. I think this is a head nod. They travel to number 12 Georgia at noon on ABC. The line is 20.5, but Georgia is going to roll, I think.
Kentucky always plays them tough, though, at Georgia.
True.
If you remember their last couple of times down there,
they've almost beaten them
down to the wire.
Yeah.
Don't forget, they're coming off of Bama. It's not like, they should be feeling all nice and fresh themselves. Georgia's going to win here, but Kentucky, they're not afraid to back down. They'll get in the parking lot and tussle.
Absolutely. I'm going with Georgia as well. Number 14, Iowa State at Cincinnati. 12 p.m. on ESPN2. Cincinnati is -1.5 right now.
What?
Yes. Yes.
Boy, is that crooked because Iowa State looks really good. Cincinnati's favored? Satterfield. Uh, I'm going. Boy, that is shady.
Yeah, that might be easy money. That might be Logan's lock of the week is Iowa State +1.5.
That is so shady.
It's very shady.
Um, Give me the Cyclones. Oh, it's almost so shady. I want to take Cincinnati, to be honest with you, but I'll take Iowa State.
I'm gonna stick with my gut and go Iowa State. They look really good. Uh, Give me the Cyclones as well. Wisconsin, man, they are having issues. I cannot believe Coach Fickle is still around
So,
in Madison.
so just so you know, that line opened at Iowa State -3.5. They're now getting 1.5. So I don't know if there's some injuries going on there or whatnot, but that's a huge swing, a 4-point swing midway through the week.
Right.
Wow.
That's nuts. That is nuts. But I can't believe Fickle is still at Wisconsin. He travels to the big house to take on Michigan. Number 20, Michigan, noon on Fox. JR, does Wisconsin have anything left in them to pull off an upset on the road?
Probably not, but this might be their kind of style of game to stick around a little bit, but no.
Yeah, I got Michigan in this one quite handily. Number 22, Illinois at Purdue, noon on Big Ten Network. Illinois -9.5 here. Can the spoiler makers eliminate the Illini here?
No, but I think they might give them a decent game.
Yeah, I got Illinois as well. Might be a good one. The spoiler makers could do it again. No, I feel bad for UCLA coming up here. Number 7, Penn State at UCLA, 3:30 on CBS. 3-1 versus 0-4. We're just gonna move on here. No need to talk about that. My goodness, that's bad. We got number 9, Texas at Florida, 3:30 on ESPN. Underrated game.
Very underrated game. Kind of sneaky here, too. The line is under a touchdown,
Mm-hmm.
surprisingly. Two tough defenses here. Wouldn't be surprised if the under hit. The total is only like 41, 42, depending on where you're at. I'll take Texas here, but, you know, Florida at 1-3, they're respectable on defense. You just can't really trust anything they do on offense. Texas may keep them in the game, though. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, I have not liked what I've seen from Arch Manning. I haven't really liked what I've seen from Texas, quite frankly. They played 3 no-name opponents and struggled against 2 of them, ran it up against a third. So
Right.
I'm going to go with Florida in the swamp. I'm going to go with Florida's defense to upset them in the swamp this upcoming Saturday. Number 16, Vanderbilt at number 10, Alabama. 3:30 on ABC. College game day rolling into Tuscaloosa for the first time this year.
Boy, everybody was quick to write off Bama after losing to Florida State.
Guilty.
Florida State now, you know. Pavia, boy, love Pavia. Love Clark Lee, what he's doing down there. Boy, that place is hot. That just whole area is totally on fire. But they're going to Bama here. I got Bama.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think Bama is going to roll them out of the building. I just don't think Vandy's on that level quite yet. Man, they beat them last year. A nice little upset last year, but I just don't think they have it in them this year. Give me Alabama big. Number 24, Virginia at Louisville, 3:30 on ESPN2.
Virginia now ranked, huh?
Yeah.
Good for them. Good for them. What's the line on this here? I'm trying to find it.
Louisville -6.5.
Whoa. I'll go.
Yeah, I'm going Louisville at home to knock off Virginia and continue their undefeated season.
Good game.
Yeah, give me the Cards. Here's a good one, JR. This is the JR matchup of the week. Kent Reed, Kent Wright, Kent State at number 5, Mobile Homa, 4 p.m. on the SEC network. I just had to say it. We'll move along here.
Kent State, they just love to go into a dungeon and get whipped for like 4 hours every week.
Get
It
that,
must pay well.
yeah, get that bag, as they say these days. Number 11, Texas Tech at Houston, 7 p.m. on ESPN. Battle of Unbeatens.
I'm going to take Texas Tech here, but watch out.
Yeah, I'm going with the Red Raiders in this one on the road as well to keep their undefeated season alive. Minnesota travels to number 1 Ohio State, 7:30 on NBC.
What's the line on this?
Ohio State 24.5.
I'll take Ohio State. I don't know if they'll cover, though.
Row, row, row your boat.
Yeah.
I got Ohio State. Their fans whine and moan about not getting night games. Here's your night game. Go out here and do it. Ohio State rolls. Number 3, Miami at number 18, Florida State, 7:30 on ABC.
Wow. What a game here.
Here we go. It's an elimination game of the ACC.
Florida State, they get a chance to just bounce right back. And, imagine having wins over Miami and Bama. That would look really good on your resume. Little double duty if you can knock off Miami in conference here. I just don't trust Florida State enough. Carson Beck looks pretty good. The change they've made and defensive coordinators got Miami positioned pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take I'll take the U. Give me the Convicts. They're still convicts, by the way.
Yeah, Florida State, it's an elimination game for them because if they fall here, they have 2 ACC losses. ACC, they could still sneak back into the ACC championship, but man, I did not like what I saw from them last week. And, how that Bama win does look good now, but, whatever. On the other end for Alabama now, this loss might be an anchor in there. I'm going with Miami. I am going with the U on the road to knock off Florida State. Mississippi State put up a hell of a fight last week against Tennessee. I told you, 4-1 Mississippi State now. They travel to College Station to take on number 6 Texas A&M, 7:30 on the SEC network.
Yeah, A&M, they might want to watch it here.
Yeah.
Give me A&M, but watch it.
I'm going with Texas A&M as well. And now Boise State at number 21, Notre Dame, 3:30 on NBC. It's Irish wear green.
The Irish wear green. Did you get our friends' picks over there?
I did. I got Dylan's. Logan hasn't sent me his. But Dylan is going with ND 40-17.
40-17. Okay. Blue and gold has Notre Dame 34-20.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. This feels like a 38-21 kind of game. Give me the Irish.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I got Notre Dame 45-34 in this ball game. I think our defense takes a step back in this game, unfortunately. But I, however, see our offense continuing to do what they do. They're going to score at will in this game. But I think our defense, Boise State's going to come in hot. They're coming in. They got nothing to lose and everything to gain. If they lose, we lost at Notre Dame. Oh, well. They win. We beat Notre Dame and we're right back in. So it's going to be a good game, I think. I think we're going to be in for a little bit of a heart attack, but hope I'm wrong.
The defense taking a step back, kind of like our viewing options this weekend on the cock.
Yes. All right. Well, that does it for us here in the preview. Hopefully next week we have a full house for the Boise State recap.
What's the weather?
Weather? You want a weather report? I will get
You
you
want a
a
weather
weather
report
report. It's going to
because
be hot.
those this whole lightning delay phenomenon that we got going around college football and professional sports. I was a part of the one of those against South Florida and BK's,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and that can really throw a kink into the game. So, what do we got?
Oof. High of 91.
What?
Yeah.
91.
That's going to be the real feel. 91 degrees. Humid. Clouds. Continues to stay warm. Winds southwest 5 to 10 miles an hour.
Well, they are not used to that. You saw how they wielded at South Florida in that heat.
Mm.
And it wasn't exactly cool down in Fayetteville,
Fayetteville,
Woo Pig
right.
Suey. So we've tested in the heat. I like that. That's good. 91.
Yeah.
Holy cow. 91 in October?
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's going to be the real feel. All right. Well, that will do it for us. If you are traveling to Notre Dame Stadium, be sure to be in your best green outfit because Irish wear green. Go Irish.